Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa halul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Question number 9. قد فاتتك دروس. Yes, here. Why we have qad over here, and what is the meaning of fatatka? Why do we have fatat over here? Any idea? Fatat, is it present tense or past tense?
Past, sister.
Past tense, okay. Is this for the masculine or feminine?
That is feminine.
Feminine. Fata, fata, fatu, fatat, right? قد فاتتك دروس. So why do we have here feminine? Because durusun is the plural of darsun, and this is غير عاقل, and that's why it is considered as singular feminine. قد فاتتك دروس. You have missed lessons, or you have indeed missed lessons. So why is qad used and how is it used? Do you remember? Qad is used with the past tense, and when it is used with the past tense, as we can see over here, it signifies certainty. قد فاتتك دروس. إذا دخلت قد على الفعل الماضي, when yes, qad enters on the past tense, أفادت التأكيد, then it signifies or denotes certainty. And why do we have here dakhalat and afadat? Because qad is a kalima, and kalima we know that in Arabic is feminine. It's a harf, and harf is kalima, in fact, sorry, which is feminine. So that's why we have إذا dakhalat, when it enters. What enters? قد على الفعل الماضي, on the past tense. أفادت التأكيد. أفاد يفيد إفادة, to signify or to give the advantage or benefit. قد وصلت الطائرة, the plane has arrived. قد فتح باب المكتبة, the doors of, or the door of the library has opened. So again we can see here that we have qad over here and we have qad over here, and both of them have been used with the past tense. Wasalat is the past of wasala, and futiha, as we know, this is the past tense, and this is passive. This is passive. قد فتح باب المكتبة. وإذا دخلت على الفعل المضارع أفادت الشك والاحتمال. What happens with the present tense? We can see here it denotes or signifies one of the following things. Number one, الشك والاحتمال, doubt or possibility. So when it is used with the past tense, it signifies certainty. But when qad is used with the present tense, it signifies doubt or possibility. قد يعود المدير غدا, the headmaster may return tomorrow. So we can see here the reason why we have قد يعود, the translation is may. Why? Because it is used with the present tense. قد ينزل المطر اليوم, it may rain today. Again here we have the combination of qad plus the present tense, and that's why it is translated as may, it may rain today. قد يأتي المدير غدا, أي يمكن أن يأتي غدا, means it's possible that he may come tomorrow. Number 2, التقليل, rarity or paucity. تقليل, it conveys the sense of sometimes. So when it is used with the present tense, it also gives the meaning of taqleel or rarity or sometimes. Example, قد ينجح الطالب الكسلان, a lazy student sometimes passes the exam. So it's not like always, it's sometimes. And how do we get the meaning of sometimes? Because we have the combination of قد plus the present tense. أي أحيانا ينجح الطالب الكسلان, means sometimes the lazy students passes the exam. قد يصدق الكذوب. A liar sometimes tells the truth. So, a liar sometimes tells the truth, as we can see here. Al-kadhubu, kadhubun is basically on the pattern of fa'ulun, and fa'ulun is sighatul mubalagha. Sighatul mubalagha yani it means intensity, or it means something that happens a lot. So al-kadhub is the person who consistency lies. When someone who lies, we say kadhib or we say kadhab. But when we say kadhub, that means he is a habitual liar. It's his habit to tell lies. So when we say qad yasduqul kadhubu, a liar sometimes tells the truth. There is a possibility that sometimes he might tell the truth as well. So when it is used with the past tense, it's used for certainty. And when it is used for the present tense, it gives the meaning of possibility, ihtimal, and doubt, shak, and also it gives the meaning of at-taqleel, that means rarity or sometimes. However, it also gives the meaning of certainty, at-tahqiq, when it is used with the present tense, but it is restricted to the Quran only. وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ. While you know for sure, as we can see for sure, that I am the messenger of Allah to you. وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ, and we know that here dal is sakin, and the rule of the tajweed is when dal and ta come together, as we know that the makhraj is the same, and that's why dal will not be pronounced, and we will recite it as وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ. وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ, dal will not be pronounced. The wrong pronunciation will be وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ, because we know qad, we have qalqala on that. In this case, there will be no qalqala and it will not be read when you are reciting the Quran. You will recite it as if dal does not exist in the pronunciation only. وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ. And you know for sure that I am the messenger of Allah to you. So the note over here is qad signifies certainty when, with both past and present when used in the Quran. So when qad is used in the Quran, whether it is used with the past tense or the present tense, it signifies what? It signifies at-ta'kid, or it signifies certainty. However, if it is used min ghayr al-Quran, other than the Quran, when we use it with the present tense, then the meaning will be different. The meaning might be shak, ihtimal, or taqleel. Is this clear?
Yes, Ustad.
So I think the the point is very clear that whenever we have qad in the Quran, whether it is used with the present tense or the past tense, it is used for certainty in the Quran. And as we know that our focus is Quran, that's why it should be clear that there shouldn't be any confusion then. The wul qurba, the wu is a plural of dhu, right? And we have discussed this in detail in lesson number 2. All the forms of dhu and also all the forms of dhatu we have discussed in detail. The wahid, mufrad, and muthanna, and the jama' and the plural, all of them we have discussed in detail. The wul qurba, the wu jam'u dhu. So the wu is the plural of what? Dhu. So dhu is singular and the wu is plural. ويعرب إعراب الجمع المذكر السالم. And it is declined as if it is, or it is declined as or sound masculine plural, al-jam' al-madhakkar salim, like the sound masculine plural. What is sound masculine plural? That ends with the una sound. Una, ina. Muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. And the ending of, or the declension of dhu, the plural is the same, which is the wu. And you remember the mansub and the majroor form, the wu, the we. نحو ذوي القربى أحق بمساعدتك. Your relatives are the ones who deserve your help the most. So ذوي القربى, here it is, the wu is marfu. Why it is marfu? Because it is mubtada, And we know that mubtada is always marfu, and ahaqqu bi musa'adatika is khabar, and khabar is also marfu as well. Jalis, which verb form is this? Can you figure out? The same, right? From number 3 that we are discussing now. Jalasa yujalisu mujalasatan. That means to sit with. To sit with. Jalasa yajlisu is to sit, but jalasa yujalisu mujalasatan is to sit with. As we know that this form number 3 basically consists of two parties or two persons, and sometimes one is active and the other is passive, or both of them can be active or both of them can be passive. So jalis, what is this? Is this past, present, or fi'l al-amr? Excellent. Jalis. So as we can see, jalis is fi'l plus fa'il. That's why the we is maf'ul bihi. So jalis, the will ilmi, sit with the people of knowledge. هذه مساكن الطلاب ذوي العائلات. And here it is majroor. And why it is majroor? Because it is used here as, yes, مضاف إليه. Yeah. هذه is mubtada and masakinu is khabar, and the rest of the part that we have after masakinu, all of this is mudaf ilayh. So masakin is mudaf, at-tullab and dhawi and a'ilat, all of them are mudaf ilayh. And we know that mudaf ilayh is always majroor, as we can see here. And this is also majroor, but this is majroor bil ya, and this is not majroor bil kasra, it is majroor bil ya, whereas at-tullab and a'ilat, both of them are majroor bil kasra. We know that the i'rab can be of two types. It can be marfu bil dhamma, and it can be mansoob bil fatha, and it can be majroor bil kasra. And when we have the weak letters, then it will be marfu bil waw, as we can see over here, and mansoob and majroor will be bil ya, as we can see over here. And the example is muslimuna, una we have waw, and muslimina we have ya in mansoob and majroor. These are the residential places of the students with the families. The will a'ilat. A'ilat is the plural of a'ilatun, family and families. ومثل ذو ulu ma'nan wa iraban. And like the wu, ulu has the same, or it is used in the same meaning, and it has the same irab. Do you remember the irab of ulu? Ulu, uli, uli. And we discussed that waw is written but it is not pronounced. In the Quran, when we are reciting, waw is not pronounced. So similarly, ulu has the same meaning, the possessor, the one who possesses something, and the meaning and the i'rab will be the same. في سورة النمل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قالوا نحن أولو قوة وأولو بأس شديد والأمر إليك. As we can see over here, قالوا, they said, نحن we, and after نحن we have ulu. Why? Because it is this is mubtada and this is khabar, so that's why it is marfu. Ulu quwwatin. Wa, as we know that this is a wow that is used to connect two verbs or nouns. In this case we have two nouns. Wa ulu ba'sin shadidin wal amru ilayk. They said, we are men of strength and great military might. We are men of strength, yani we possess strength. But the command is yours, so see what you will command. So in this case here, ulu, and ulu is marfu, and it means the possessor or those who have strength. Here we have very interesting sentence. عرفت, you knew, أن, that, lakinna, min akhawati inna. So how many sisters of inna do we have? We have inna, and we have lakinna, and we have anna. And we know that anna and lakinna are the sisters of inna, right? So arafta anna lakinna min akhawati inna. You have learned that anna that lakinna is from the sisters of inna. Taqulu, you say, hamidun mujtahidun. Hamid is hardworking. Lakinna, but Sadiqahu kaslanu. His friend is lazy. So why Sadiqahu? Why is it mansub? Because Lakinna is from the sisters of Inna, and we know that Inna and the sisters of Inna have Ismu Inna and Khabaru Inna, and Ismu Inna is always mansub and Khabaru Inna is always marfu', right?
Yes, teacher.
إذا خففت, but when it is made light, when we make it light, or إذا خففت لكن, but when لكن is made light, أهملت, then its function fades away. أهمل يهمل إهمالا is to basically neglect. Then what happens when we make it light? Then its impact fades away or it loses its impact. So what happens? Lakinna, when the tashdid is removed or when the noon is made sakin, when it becomes lakin, then its impact fades away or it loses its impact. ودخلت على الجملتين الاسمية والفعلية, and then it enters on both جملة الاسمية والجملة الفعلية, nominal sentence and verbal sentence. Okay, what is the impact of lakinna? This is حرف نصب والتأكيد, right? lakinna is حرف نصب والتأكيد. What happens when we use lakinna? It makes its ism mansub, right? It makes its ism mansub, that's number one. And number two, it is used for emphasis. But when it is made light, light means that when it is made sakin, then it loses its impact. So the impact will be lost. It will not be emphatic and it will not make its noun mansub. Look at the example. جاء المدرس, the teacher has arrived. لكن الطلاب ما جاءوا, but the students did not come. So we know that lakin is like sakin over here, and when we connect sakin with al, then we connect with kasra. لكن الطلاب ما جاءوا. Now الطلاب here is marfu'. What is it? Marfu'. So what happened over here? The impact of lakinna has been lost. Why the impact of lakinna has been lost? Because it has become khafif, it has become light. And what is the meaning that it has become light? That the tashdid has been removed and the fatha has been removed. Is this clear?
Yes, Ustad.
However, the meaning will be the same. The meaning is but. The meaning will not change, but the i'rab will change. وفي التنزيل, and in the Quran, لكن الظالمون اليوم في ضلال مبين. But today the wrongdoers are clearly misguided. And here it is الظالمون and it's not ظالمين. If we have lakinna, then it will be الظالمين. But here we don't have lakinna, we have lakin, and that's why after that the noun is marfu, and we know this is marfu bil waw. لكن الظالمون اليوم في ضلال مبين. Dalal, we know dalla yadillu dalalan wa dalalatan has two masdar, and dalal is to go astray or to be misguided. Mubin, can you please tell me mubin? Which form is this, and is this ismul fa'il or ismul maf'ul? You need
Fine.
ismul fa'il, ahsanti. Okay, which verb form?
Abana.
Form number 4. Abana yubinu ibanatan. The same. Aslama yuslimu islaman. Abana yubinu ibanatan, to make something clear. Fahuwa mubinun. So this is ismul fa'il. Fahuwa mubinun. Fi dalalin mubinin, yani they are clearly misguided. غاب علي. Ali was absent. لكن حضر أحمد, but Ahmad attended. Now we can see over here that lakin is also used with the past tense, or it is used with the verb, I should say. Lakinna cannot be used with the verb, it is only used with the noun. But lakin can be used with the noun, and also it can be used with the verb, as we can see over here. Lakin hadara Ahmadu, and wafit tanzili, and in the Quran, walakin la yash'urun. As we can see over here, walakin, and this is, as we know, sakin, walakin, and then we have la, and then we have the verb yash'urun. So here it is used with the verb, but they perceive it not. And we know the rule of the tajweed: when noon is sakin and after that we have lam with tashdid, then the noon is not pronounced. So it will be walakin la yash'urun when you are reciting the Quran. So what happened when lakinna, when it was made light, after that it lost its impact. And also what happened, now it is possible to use it with the noun, and also it is possible to use it with the verb. However, the meaning does not change. That's why, if you remember, in the beginning of the lesson, I told you that the main points that we have in the lesson are really, really very important, and I like a lot. This lesson is very important. Dhalika, tilka, ulaika. What's the meaning of dhalika? The meaning?
That.
That. Tilka? That.
Tilka means that.
That. Okay. So dhalika is used for masculine, right? And tilka is used for feminine. And ulaika means those, yeah. And it is used for both. It is used for masculine and feminine, right? So this is basically what the grammarians they say. In this one, the is basically ismul ishara. What is ismul ishara? The. And lam is basically lam al-bu'd. That means that lam of distance. And ka is basically used for khitab. It is used for the person that we are addressing to. So what do we call this? We call this kaf al-khitab. This is used for addressing someone. So ka over here, and ka over here. In modern standard Arabic, and even in the Arabic of the Quran, we know that we use dhalika, tilka, and ulaika. However, it is also possible that according to the person that we are speaking to, according to the person, the ending can change. So if we are talking to a singular feminine, we can use dhaliki. So instead of dhalika, we can also use dhaliki. And if we are talking to men, the plural, we can also use dhalikum. And if we are talking to plural feminine, we can also use dhalikunna. So dha and lam remain the same. However, the ending can change according to the person that we are speaking to. Let's look at the examples. Liman dhalikal baytu ya Bilalu. So Bilal is masculine, so that's why we have ka. You know, ka is used for singular masculine, right? Ka kumakum, ki kumakunna. Liman dhalikum, and when we connect meme with al, it becomes kumul. Liman dhalikumul baytu ya ikhwanu. So because we have ikhwan, that's why it is dhalikum. So why it has changed into dhalikum? Because it can change according to the person that we are speaking to. So if we have one masculine, we say dhalika, and if we have many like ikhwan, we say dhalikum. If we are talking to singular feminine like Mariamu, so it will be liman dhaliki al baytu ya Mariamu. What happened over here? We don't have ka anymore. It has changed into ki, and it is according to the person that we are speaking to. And similarly, we have liman dhalikunna al baytu ya akhawatu. So we have sisters over here, and we know that for sisters we use kunna. So that's why it has become liman dhalikunna al baytu ya akhawatu. Similarly, tilka sa'atu jamilatun ya hamidu. Hamid is masculine and ka is also masculine. So that's why we have tilka sa'atu jamilatun ya hamidu. And if we are talking to many, we say tilka mussa'atu jamilatun ya akhawanu. So we will say kum because we are referring to brothers. And if you are talking to a sister, or you are talking to a singular feminine Maryam, so it will be tilkis sa'atu. Interesting, isn't it? So tilkis sa'atu jamilatun ya Maryamu. And if we are talking to many sisters, then we say tilkunna sa'atu jamilatun ya akhawatu. This is called tasarrufu kafil khitabi, the changing of kafil khitab, and it is what? It is optional. So now I will give you the easy thing for us. The easy thing is like we always use dhalika, tilka, and ulaika, right? And 90% of the usage in the Quran is dhalika, tilka, and ulaika. However, we have many examples or some examples over there where we have dhalikum and similarly some other as well. That's why one of the things that we must appreciate about these books, that all the small details that we can come across in the Quran, almost all of them have been mentioned in these books. So that's why we must appreciate these books. For example, if you remember, we learned about yakunu, and yakunu sometimes becomes yaku. You remember? Lam yaku, lam aku, lam naku. That was a small detail. Similarly, we discussed about the, the wu, the way, dhatu, dhati, dhati, those small details. And now we have this beautiful small detail. To be honest, whenever I used to recite the Quran and whenever I would find dhalikum, I would search for the answer and I couldn't really find until I started reading these books, and then I came to I was able to figure out that this is why it is used in the Quran. Now we can look at the examples from the Quran. ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. So here we have lakum, and that's why we have ذَلِكُمْ. If it's ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ is also okay. As we can see, it is translated as that, ذَلِكَ. However, this is what? Tasarrufu kafil khatab. So we have here lakum, and because we have lakum here, that's why dhalikum is also possible. However, if it's in the Quran, then we wouldn't say it's possible. This is how it is in the Quran. So we will say dhalikum khairul lakum. However, min ghairil Quran, we can also say that dhalika is also possible, and it is also used in the Quran, dhalika khairul lakum as well. Akuffarukum khairum min ulaikum. And again here, kuffarukum and ulaikum. We have the combination of kum. Are your unbelievers better than those? And then we have qala kadhaliki, qala rabbuki. So here we have kadhaliki. Why? Because it is referring to the feminine. I guess it's like Surah Al-Maryam, Surah Maryam, about Maryam alayhi salam. So qala kadhaliki, qala rabbuki. Thus it will be. So it depends like who is being addressed. So if and of course a singular feminine is being addressed, that's why we over here we have kadhaliki and not kadhalika. Wanudu, nudu. Can you figure out what kind of verb is this?
Amr,
The same from
nada,
nada yunadi.
passive.
Yeah, and the passive will be nudiya, nada, and then nudiya, and the plural of nudiya will be nudu, right? Yes, okay, nudiya, and then it will be nudu. Excellent. So, wanudu, it will be announced. Antilkumul jannatu urithumuha bima kuntum ta'malun. So here we have tilkum and we have urithum, right? So we have the combination of tum and tum. So that's why here we have tilkum, and it is basically we normally use tilka, but because the addressee here is urithum, yani antum, that's why we have tilkum. Bima kuntum ta'malun, it will be announced to them, this is paradise you have been enabled to inherit for what you used to do. Okay, now here, urithum, what verb form is this? Urithum. It cannot be.
Again,
It
passive.
cannot be waratha yarithu. Yeah, it's passive. But is this from number 1?
It's if'al, like
Yes, if'al. Excellent.
akrama.
From number 4. Aslama yuslimu islaman. Af'ala yufilu if'alan. It is uratha yurithu irathan. So urithumuha urithum. You have been enabled to inherit. So when sometimes we look at the translation, we can figure out as well. It cannot be waratha yarithu because waratha yarithu has only 3 root letters, whereas awratha yurithu, awratha, sorry, yeah, awratha yurithu irathan has 4 letters. Hamza is extra, as we know. This is called Hamza and Hamza to Taziyah, which is used in the beginning of form number 4. ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Also, we have the example of ذَلِكَ in the Quran, and in the previous slide, we have seen ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. So, both of them have been used in the Quran. يجوز في كاف الخطاب في ذلك وتلك ولايك التصرف. The same thing that we have discussed in English, we discuss now in Arabic, that it is possible that kaf al-khatab can change. At-tasarruf means to change. It can change according to the person that we are speaking to, according to the addressee. وَمَانَ التَّصَرُّفِ أَنْ يُرَاءَ الْمُخَاطَبَ. And the meaning is that when the meaning changes, we have to keep in mind ra'a yurai mura'atun from number 3 that we are discussing now, that we should keep in mind the mukhatab that we are talking to. So kaf al-khitab can change according to the person that we are talking to. Nahwu, for example, liman dhalikum ad-daftaru ya ikhwanu. So we are talking to brothers. That's why we say dhalikum. And aqra'ti tilkil majallata ya aminatu. Did you read that magazine, oh Amina? So we are talking to Amina. That's why we have tilki and not tilka. And again, as I said, especially when we come across these examples in the Quran, then we must appreciate the beauty of the Arabic language and also the beauty of these books. And we must make dua for our Sheikh as well. يغفر لكم هنا يغفر مجزوم بالطلب ذلك لأن تؤمنون في الآية السابقة بمعنى آمنوا. Does anyone remember the verse of the Quran, Surah As-Saf? يا أيها الذين آمنوا. Yes. Or what is that? Yes, يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم. Yes. Yes, تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. And then we have يغفر لكم ذنوبكم. Yeah. So why is يغفر لكم why is it majzoom? Because it is used as jawab talab. Where is talab? تؤمنون is talab. But how it is talab? It is the present tense. How is it possible? Does anyone remember? We discussed in detail in the lesson that sometimes mudare can be used to give order or command. So here basically tu'minuna is used in the context of aminu. It is used as aminu. So whenever we have talab, we know that jawab talab is always majzoom. If you remember, that's fine. If you don't remember, please refer to the lesson. I think it's lesson number 3 or 2. We discussed it in detail. عيادة مصدر عاد يعود بمعنى زار المريضة. عيادة is the master of عاد يعود. It means he visited the sick. وهو على وزن فعالة, and it's on the pattern of فعالة. هات المصدر من الأفعال الآتية على وزن فعالة. Now we have to bring infinitive or masdar on the pattern of فعالة. Darasa, what will be the masdar of darasa? Dirasatun, excellent. Studies, yeah. Darasa yadrusu dirasatun. Kataba yaktubu kitabatun, right? Kitabatun, yeah, writing. Dirasatun, studying. Kitabatun, writing. Zara yazuru, yes. Ziyaratan, yes, or ziyaratun, excellent, to visit. Qara'a yaqra'u qira'atan or qira'atun. Walada yalidu wiladatan or wiladatun. Rawa yarwi riwayatun. Rawa yarwi, to narrate, yeah, to narrate hadith. Especially it is used in the context of narrating the hadith. So rawa yarwi riwayatun. As we say rawahu al-Bukhari, or we see like rawahu al-Muslim. So who refers to the hadith? Excellent. Mudiyun masdaru mada yamdi. Yeah, do you remember the meaning of mada yamdi? Okay, does anyone to pass? Does anyone remember the meaning of madin?
The one who passes.
Yeah, and we refer to the past tense, right? Normally we say madi, but when we should say madi when we use al with that, otherwise it is madin. So we say fail madin, past tense, right? So mada yamdi is to past and it is used for something that has passed. So what is the masdar of mada yamdi? Very interesting. The masdar is mudiyun. وهو على وزن فعول or فعول. So it's on the pattern of فعول. And when we look at on the pattern of فعول, it will be مضوي. What will be the word? مضوي. And the rule is, as they say, when waw and ya are together, then waw is dropped. And then we have to bring in the haraka that is according to ya. And which haraka is according to ya? That is kasra. So that's why it has changed into mudiyun. If we know the rule, that's fine. If we don't know the rule, I think that's also okay. Because this is the masdar and masdar normally doesn't change. So whenever you will have a look at the masdar in the books, it will always be mudiyun or mudiyyan. It was used in the lesson that ji'tu bada mudi ashari. I came after the passing of 1 month. So it was used in the lesson. That's why the Sheikh has brought it over here. Then we have hati masdara hawa yahwi. Ala hadal wazni. Yeah. So what do you think should be the masdar of hawa yahwi? It means to fall, basically. Yes. Who? It should start with who because it is mu. Yeah. It's mu. Yeah. Yeah. So just try huwiyun. Yeah, excellent. So it will be huwiyun. Excellent. And masdar, as we know, masdar is something very important. It keeps on like for the verbs that have 3 root letters, their masdar really changes, keeps on changing a lot. Whereas for the derived forms of the verb that we are discussing now, the masdar does not change. We all are almost there. Barnamajun jam'uhu baramiju. Baramiju. Why not baramijun? Yes, please.
ممنوع من الصرف.
ممنوع من الصرف. لماذا؟ ما هو السبب? What's the reason?
Because it's not Arabic.
مفاعيل the وزن.
Okay, excellent. And if you go a little bit further down, it is on the pattern of muntaha al-jumur, right? Something that it is like we cannot make further jama, or if there is further jama, it is called muntaha al-jumur. So mafa'ilu and mafa'ilu, please remember that 2 sighas that we have over there, sighatan, mafa'ilu and mafa'ilu, they are called muntaha al-jumur. And it's not possible to make further plural from them. So barnamajun jam'uhu baramiju, the plural of barnamaj is baramij. إذا جمع الاسم الذي حروفه 5 أو أكثر على صيغة منتهى الجموع حذف ما زاد على الأربعة. So what happens if we have the root letters, if we have a noun that has 4 root letters, then what happens when we make muntaha al-jumur, then the noun has to be only 4 root letters. So we have here safarjalun and the plural is safariju. Safarjalun, safariju. Safarjalun is basically a fruit. Quince, it's like pear that we eat. It's similar to that. Ankabutun and the plural is anakebu. What is ankabut? We have spider, yes, and then we have andalibun and we have anadilu. What is andalib?
Kingfishers.
Nightingale, yes, and we have anadilu. And then we have mustashfa. It's basically mustashfa and the plural is mashafin. تجمع خطيئة على خطايا. تجمع. Yes, what is this? Active or passive?
Passive.
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 Yeah. So جمع يجمع and then we have تجمع خطية على خطايا. So it's basically أجمع يجمع. This is form number 7 that we will discuss inshallah in detail. So the plural of خطية, that means a mistake, is on the pattern of خطايا. اجمع الأسماء الآتية هذا الجمع. Now what we have to do, we have to give the plural of each of the following nouns on the pattern of khataya. Hadiyatun, gift. What will be the plural of hadiyatun? On the same pattern,
Hadaya.
hadaya. Okay, gift and hadaya. Matiyatun is used for riding animal, the animal that we ride on.
Mataya.
Mataya.
Toya.
Excellent. And then we have maziyatun, which is used for like advantage or merit, and the plural will be
Mazaya.
mazaya. Yeah. Then we have sariyatun. Yes, which is
Saraya.
which is military detachment, and it will be saraya. So here ra does not have tashdid. What if I put tashdid on ra? What happens? Sirriyatun or sirriyun. So something that is secret is sirri, right? Sirri and jahari, right? We have the prayers and
Siranajari.
yeah, so that will
Yes.
be sirri, yeah. That will have a tashdid on ra. But here we don't have tashdid on ra, we have tashdid on ya, so it is sariyatun. We have ghazwatun and we have sariyatun. Ghazwa is also, yeah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam leads himself, and then also we have sariyatun, which is the military detachment where one of the prominent sahabis basically becomes the leader. Shadiyatun is splinter, and splinter is a small piece of any material, as we can see over here. If we have a bigger material and then there is a small material left out from there, that is called shadiyatun. And the plural will be
Shadaya.
shadaya. Okay. Bariyatun.
Baraya.
Yeah, so it's creation and baraya. Ulaika hum khairul bariyah, and we also have sharrul bariyah in the Quran. Zawiyatun is used for corner or angle, and the plural will be zawaya. Yeah, excellent. So the broken plural is always difficult to figure out, but once we figure out the pattern, then it is always easier. So that's what we are learning now, that we have to pay a special attention to the patterns, and once we are able to figure out the pattern, then the rest becomes easier. هات الفعل الذي فعل الذي اشتق, right? الذي and then اشتق, which is derived. This is also passive. منه اسم التفضيل أوهنا واذكر منه المضارع والمصدر. Give the verb form which the comparative أوهنا is derived, and give its mudari and masdar. أوهنا is derived from
Wahana.
wahana yahinu, and the masdar is wahnan. Wahana yahinu. We have learned the pattern of waratha yarithu, right? So we have wahana yahinu. Now what we have to do, اذكر أربع آيات من القرآن الكريم ورد فيها هذا الفعل. We have to give 4 ayahs in which this verb or its derivatives have been used or have occurred in the Quran. So I guess we have here ذلكم وأن الله موهن كيد الكافرين. موهن. What do you think? Which word form is this, and what kind of noun is this?
Ismul fa'il.
File.
Ismul fa'il. Excellent. Perfect.
Akramaikum.
It's form number 4. Aslama yuslimu, and it will be awhana yuhinu fahuwa muhinun. Awhana yuhinu fahuwa muhinun. So it's basically on the pattern of like ayqana yuqinu, and we have muqinun, and similarly we have awhana yuhinu, and we have muhinun. Excellent. So the root letters will be the same, which is waw, ha, and noon. So this is one of the derivatives of wahana. Okay, then we have وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ. Yes, tahinu. Wahana yahinu. So this is from number
Nahi.
1, yeah. Wahana yahinu and yahinu, and then if you continue the conjugation, and this is la. This is basically, yes. Thank you for
Lan.
figuring it out. This is la an nahi. So this is here an nahi. Wala tahinu wala tahzanu wa antumul a'launa. So do not weaken and do not grieve, and you will be superior if you are true believers. ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه حملته أمه وهنا على وهن وهنا على وهن. So what do you think about
Masdar.
masdar of wahana yahinu? Weakness upon weakness. وكأي من نبي قاتل معه. قاتل you can figure out as well. ربيون كثيرا فما وهنوا لما أصابهم. وهنوا is the
في الماضي.
past tense of form number
1.
1. Excellent. Wahana yahinu. Excellent. So we have the examples here in the Quran. And then I believe this is the last question of this lesson. هات المضارع من أنذر ضيأ and
ينذر.
حث. أنذر, as we can see over here from number 4. So أنذر will be ينذر. ضيأ is from number 2.
يضيء.
ضيأ يضيء تضيئا. And you remember we were like, one of the lessons we were like lost when we were doing ضاع يضيء. That was from number 1. And it is passive in its own, in itself as well. So to be lost, yeah. And we were lost as well. But to make something lose, or to make something waste, or to go to waste, is ضيّأ يضيّئ. So that's why we say لا تضيّع وقتك. Don't waste your time. And then we have حث, to urge. So
يحث.
from number 1, يحث. Excellent. To urge someone. Alhamdulillah, it's been a long journey to complete this lesson, but I believe we have learned lots of things, that especially that we have in the Quran. And I believe inshallah in the next lesson we will continue with more examples from the Quran. And also I'm planning that we must complete at-tashahhud that we have in our prayers, because in tashahhud we have the use of form number 2, 3, and 4. Since we have already completed form number 2, 3, and 4, so I believe we can grammatically analyze the tashahhud as well, so that inshallah when we are praying we can focus more on that. Alright, so inshallah we will meet again in the next lesson. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.